Well, hi my friends, this is Jay, and this is Jay's Stitch Tutorial number 10. I couldn't resist. Now I know we're in the middle of knitting our sweater, our Jay's knit along, but February, what can I say? Valentine month, the month of love, whatever. And I have been working on this stitch for some time, and I thought, let me just come and bring you this cute little scarf, show it to you real quick, get right into it, not do a whole lot. I showed you some older examples in the pictures because I used to make this scarf years ago. I used to call it, I've always called it my sweetheart scarf. And so whenever we do it again, that's what I will refer to it as, Jay's sweetheart scarf. I can knit it and crochet it, so I can have a crochet version or I can have a knitted version. This today is a knitted version because we're still working out of Wendy Bernard's Stitch Dictionary, this one right here. And I'm just very excited about these books because I had them in my library, my knitting library, and didn't even realize it till one day I stumbled across them and I realized I had all this treasure in these books and didn't even know. So I've numbered the book. There's 2 stitch dictionaries that you can get on Amazon. If you're going to get one, you may as well get the other one. I don't have the other one in front of me right now, but it's on the sweater video, but I numbered the book so I would know which one I was working out of. I'm calling this book number 2. I just put my own little number here so I would know when I'm working out of it which book I was using. So let me show you real quick what this little scarf, this is Jay's Stitch Tutorial number 10. So it's all about the stitch, and let me show you about this little scarf. So I'm going to move some of my little display here. Okay, bird. Now I'm going to turn this scarf and I'll move my little flower over here. Let's see, I may have to change the camera to back out a little bit. I want to show you first how this scarf is worn. The first thing you're going to notice, it is a long, the scarf needs to be very long, or at least that's the way I start making them. So this section here is the section that's going to be going around your neck. This section can be any texture stitch or any lace stitch, or I use a lot of the ribbing stitches. 1 by 1 ribbing, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, whatever you want. Or you can do pretty, like I said, texture stitches. You can do the basket weave stitch. You can do the bamboo stitch. You can do just a way to practice stitches that we find in the stitch books, especially simple ones. You want to keep this section simple. And then here is just for a little separation. Now this doesn't always apply. Sometimes I don't need separation. It just depends on the stitch and the stitch I have here, if I need a little separation between them. Then I go right into, as you can see, just plain stockinette, where I knit on the front and purl on the back. Now I'm just kind of, can you see that? All right, I have it way out because I'm going to show you how to tie it. And then I came across this beautiful stitch in Wendy Bernard's stitch book, and I'm going to walk you stitch by stitch and tell you exactly, how I made it. But real quick, to wear this scarf, this goes around your neck, of course, and then you're going to have a short end in front. I'm going to move bird just a minute. So it goes around your neck like that, and then a short end will come down like that. Then this long end with the pretty lace will come across just like you do a man's tie. Here's the neck. You bring the long piece across, hold on to the short end and this front section, and then bring the lace up through this hole that you make. Now I can't make it just like it's going to fit around your neck. I'm just demonstrating here. And bring it and pull it and then adjust it around your neck, and then voila, you have this beautiful, you'll see it when you put on your pearls or your pretty necklace. It just forms such a pretty picture, just like I shared with the pictures when we came in. And You can even throw a flower if you want. Let me pull in a little bit because I'm way out now. Pull in just a little bit just so you can see how pretty it looks. So this is, like I said, but today it's all about the stitch. And I'm just using my old patterns that I used to do, like I said, called the Sweetheart Scarf. Because some people have said, well, Jay, I like the stitch tutorials, but what do we do with these swatches? Should we sew them together, make blankets, whatever? So this will be something that we could do and learn new stitches, not only for the front part of the scarf, but also try some of the texture stitches, which we haven't done a lot of, for this part of the scarf. So does that make sense? And one last thing, we are going to work, look, we're going to work another chart. I got so excited working the charts and how fast they are, and how once you get into the flow of them, you just want to, okay, Jay, I want to try it again. I want to try it, and don't make it too hard. So this one is not really hard, but we will add the repeat feature. Remember the first one, the diamond, that we're working on the sweater, the blue knit-along sweater. There was no repeat. It's just, a panel, a diamond motif. This one, we will be working more than one repeat. And I'm going to show you how it looks on a chart and how to follow it. So look at that. See? We're forever growing. All right, let's see if there's something else I wanted to tell you on this. Okay, I've shown you I'll go real quick. It won't hurt to just really quick. I'm going to do some of this fast because I really want to get into it. This is, like I said, this is book number 2 that I'm using from Wendy Bernard, and I was just going to show you. I think I marked it. Yeah, here it is. Okay, I just wanted to show you because, if I'm advertising the book and you take the time to buy the book, I want you to know how to use the book. Now, she is a well-known teacher and all that, and I cannot, I'm not anything on her level or whatever, but what I, can do is share with you how I have been able, to use the stitches that I find in the book. Now, here is this particular lace. She calls it the chevron lace. Let's see, I'm trying to hold it up without a glare. I'm trying to do a lot of this real quick because I want to get into it. It's chevron lace, and of course she's given the written instructions, which I have typed up, but I have typed up according to the way I've had to knit it. These are stitch books. These are stitches presented in order for you to design or create or make your own ideas or your patterns. In order to get it into my design or my pattern or creation, sometimes I have to change things, or anyone else. You may have to change a stitch here or two or whatever in order to make it fit. And so on my information sheet, I have typed it as I'm going to knit it stitch by stitch on this tutorial. But that does not take away from what's in her book. If you have the book or buy the book, you can do the same thing. But everybody has their own flow or their own rhythm. She also has it in the round. But one thing I found that caused me great problems, when I wanted this stitch, look at it. What do you see? Now, if I turn the stitch this direction, upside down, can you see that there are some pretty hearts? I'm going to lay it back so you can see. Can you see those hearts popping out in that design right there? So I was all excited. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, so she must, because she does a lot of the top down, and that's what it says, all around and everything. But there was no top down instructions for this stitch in this book. So I thought, Jay came up with a bright idea. I thought, well, I'll just start up here and knit down this way. I'll just turn the chart around upside down and just knit. Well, that didn't work. It wouldn't give me the heart. It gave me a big mess. So I thought, how can I get these hearts into my scarf and have it and present it in the way that it would look where you could actually see the hearts of my scarf, or on my scarf, whether you're wearing it or someone is looking at it. Otherwise, they're going to be looking upside down at your upside down heart. And that's what I will definitely, that's what I'm going to try to share with you in this scarf, because I design from scratch. I don't use other people's patterns. I use my own creativity, and I work through patterns by working swatches and knitting and just trying to see how I can make it fit or make it work, or what I'm dreaming of. Does that make sense? So in order to get these hearts from her book in the right flow, when we start to work, we have to work from this end. We will be working, as I said before, we will have to work from this end. You have to do this section, and I suggest you make this long section here. A good way to measure from around your neck and everything is just simply make this section as long as your waist across the front, from one end of your waist across the belly button to the opposite side of your waist. That should give you enough to clear your neck. And then, like I said before, we will go into stockinette, knit on the front, purl on the back, just to give the pretty separation right there, so that this doesn't run into that. And then, listen, when we start the chart, which will be what's coming up in just a minute, we are working this pattern. We are right here. This is where we'll have the pattern to work, right there. And as we work up, it'll look like, well, the heart is still upside down, Jay. It's upside down. It seems to be upside down, but we're just working it in a different direction, because once we finish and turn it, and just like I demonstrated how to tie the scarf, the hearts, ba-bam, they're going the right direction, and now you have the full presentation of J Stitch Tutorial number 10. These beautiful hearts from the chart by Wendy Bernard. What do you think of that? All right, I'm going to take you through everything, so let me clear this up. I just want to come on with a quick intro, and now we're going to get started. Back in just a minute. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love that. A little bling never hurt anybody. Right, Bird? Okay, I'll be back in just a minute. Let me go over my simple working formula and the information. It's on the sheet, but I want to tell you what you was looking at when you saw the sheet. All right, this is I'm calling it my Sweetheart Lace Scarf, but it's really Stitch Tutorial number 10. This stitch out of Wendy's book has a multiple of 12 plus 1. So for one repeat, there's 12 stitches, and then you add 1 at the end. We're going to do 2 repeats. All right, then, so here's my working formula for 2 repeats. I decided I need 3 stitches on each side for a border to keep it from rolling. You could add more if you wanted to. That's just up to you. But for my 2 repeats, 12 times 2 is 24, and then you add 1 in the box where the lace belongs. I have 25 stitches. So I have a border of 3 plus 25 stitches plus another border of 3, which equals 31 stitches. Every one, everywhere, every size, unless you want to change any of these numbers. You are welcome to. I just share with you how I do the formula. You may decide you want to add 4 stitches. I don't know. Or you may want more repeats. But this is just a nice size. All right. Then, so that we can cast on, I want on this scarf to do the 2x2 ribbing. When we do the 1x1, we need an odd number. 2x2 ribbing, we need an even number. So to 31 stitches, add 1 stitch. Just add 1 stitch, and you will cast on 32 stitches. Now, how does that sound? quick and easy, nice and clean. Now I'm using a US number 9 because I'm working, I'm doing the sweater number 9. It was one I already, I have so many, I just grabbed up another number 9. Now I'm using number 4 weight yarn. Like I said, this is line brand Heartland yarn. You can use any weight yarn you want with the appropriate needle. The 2x2 ribbing, real quick, it's just like when I do the 1x1 ribbing. On your cast on number from the formulas that I give, you add the 1 extra stitch because we need an even number. I work an odd number for the 1x1 ribbing, but for the 2 I need an even number. So I knit 3 stitches. You're down here now. 1, 2, 3. I put a marker. Then, well, you're really on this side. Now we're on remember the first row, I count as the wrong side. It doesn't matter what ribbing, unless I'm just following somebody else's pattern. So after I knit 1, 2, 3 stitches, I put a marker. Then I start with a purl 2, knit 2, purl, knit, purl, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, all the way across to this end. If I start with a purl over here, I'm going to end with a purl before those last 3 stitches. So I purl, put a marker, and knit, put the yarn in back and knit those 3 stitches or 4 stitches as a border. Does that make sense? Just real quick. When I turn the work, now we are on the right side, and I do the appropriate stitch on the right side. I knit the 3 stitches, slide the marker. Now I can definitely see I have 2 knit stitches, and that's what I want on the front. Right before this border, I want knit stitches. So knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, all the way across. You're in with a knit 2 and then the 3 stitches. Now you do that, like I said, for the length you need, and then the stockinette section. Now I am ready. Now I went ahead and worked 1 hole because I wanted to check my written instructions that they were right before I put them up on before I put them in the video. So after I typed it here, I wrote it from this chart. I didn't write it from her instructions because it was going to throw me. It was easy for me to just write it from the chart and make any changes or do anything that I need to do. And it's right. So now I am at row 1 again, and this is how we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and lay my magnet right there. We're going to work. Check my camera one time, and then I'm going to read it out. We're going to read, I believe you can see that. I've checked it more than once. All right, so now here we go. Let me just make sure that my little thing is not in the way. Yes, I think. Okay. Row 1, the right side, reads, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. That's the change I made. Then knit 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that before we do a repeat. All right. I'm going to knit my 3 border stitches, just like that, like we did on the other chart. I hope you're liking this. Okay. Again, knit 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to knit 4. We're on row 1 now. I'm going to knit 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I do knit two stitches together. I knit 2 just like that, just knit them together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. Instead of, just so if you have the book, you're going to go, oh, Jay, that's not where she at. Okay, follow me, go with what I have. Slip, slip, knit, okay, and then knit 1, 2, 3, 4. Knit 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, my heat's going to kick on, so I'm going to speak up. Now, that's 1 repeat. Now, all you have to do is just slide your eye back up the row to the highlighted section. Not here, but here. Does that make sense? So I just put my eyes back there, and now I have a knit 3. So now I knit 1, oops. See, this is not part of the repeat, this row here. So now I knit 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to speak up. Alright, now knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. Okay, and knit the last 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I knit those stitches off. See how clear it is? Okay, then I slide the marker and I have my 3 border stitches, or one of the formulas I said maybe you want 4, just to kind of let you see that you can replace my numbers with whatever numbers you like. So now, of course, you're down here at the bottom, you're just getting started, but I completed my row 1. Now row 2, I simply have to turn the work, keep the borders, knit each border, and I will see you at row 3, which is the next right side. Right, let's see, can I move it? There you go. I will see you back at row 3. Alright, so now I've purled back. So now we are on row 3. Alright, let's go. I'm going to read it for you and then we'll work it. Row 3, you start with a knit 1. Well, let's just read it straight across. I won't separate it. Row 3 reads, knit 1, 2, 3. Then, leaning right, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over. Then, knit 1, 2, 3, yarn over. Now, leaning to the left, I'm using the slip, slip, knit. And then you knit 1, 2, 3 for 1 repeat. So let's do the 1 repeat, and then we'll go from there. So I knit my 3 stitches, every one, everywhere, every time. Alright, starting row 3 again is slide my marker and knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now knit 2 stitches together. Just knit 2 together. I'm used to bamboos. These needles are flying and slipping all over the place. Yarn over. After I knit 2 stitches together, yarn over. Now look right in the center. It says knit 1, 2, 3. There's 3 empty boxes. So empty squares. 1, 2, and 3. Now yarn over again. Yarn over. Now I'm changing it to slip, slip, knit. And then knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now I slide my eyes back up to the beginning, but not all the way to the beginning of the row, but to where it's highlighted. And like I said, this will be a good practice for you to always highlight the repeat part so you'll know exactly where to come up and stop. So now at the highlight, I only have to knit 2. So now I knit 2, 1, 2, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over. Now right in the center, knit 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. See that? And I end with knit 3. I have 3 stitches left and 3 stitches on my chart. 1, 2, and 3. Slide the marker and knit those 3. Now, of course, row 4 is the wrong side, and according to the written pattern and instructions, you just purl back. Except for our border stitches. Got to work those each time. I will see you on the next right side row, which will be row 5. We will be working row 5. What do you think of that? Alright, take care. Now, as we increase in yarn overs, do not drop your yarn overs when you're purling back. Alright, back in just a minute. All right, before I go any further, I just realized I need to add something. Since you're starting, of course, on that long section and you've got a ways to go, I think it'll be okay to come back here and give you a little information of something that I forgot to tell you. Once you stop the ribbing, okay, you're down here and you're doing that long ribbing section, okay. So once you get to however many inches from one side of your waist to the other, or how long you want this section, you know, the length of how long you want this section, and you're done, when you start the first row of stockinette, where you're on the right side and you're going to just knit across all the stitches, right here after you knit 1, 2, 3 and you slide the marker. How many of you remember we had one extra stitch to do the 2x2 ribbing to make it an even number? Do you remember when you had to add the one extra stitch? Well, this is the best place to take it off and it won't be that noticeable. So as soon as you finish the long ribbing, the long 2x2 ribbing section, and now you're ready to just knit across all the stitches, knit 1, 2, 3, slide the mark, and knit 2 stitches together right there. Just go ahead and knit 2 stitches to get rid of that one extra stitch, so that when we get to the pattern, you will have the right number. If you leave it in, you know, and then you'll get down there and you're going to go, Jay, something's wrong. I just can't figure, and then I would have forgotten to, because I didn't put it in when I should have way back when we're in the other part of the video. But I think I'm telling you, I think there's enough time. You're just getting started. So hopefully you'll listen to the tape. And let's see, I needed something to say, oh, I should have had a bell or something. Ding, 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 ding. Right here, after you do 1, 2, 3, and you're getting ready to knit across all these stitches just to do the stockinette, you're done with the ribbing part. The first 2 stitches after you slide the marker, just knit 2 together, and then just continue to knit across, purl back, purl, knit, for at least, like I said, 2.5 inches, 3 inches, depending on how tall you are. Does that make sense? Whew, saved by the bell. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I do have a bell too. But if I brought it over here, it's so loud it probably scare you to death. You're probably like, oh my God, Jay. Enough with the bell. We are up to row 5. This is going fast. Now, see, if I wasn't talking and we just going row by one, you see how quick you can knit this without using the word, without having to go through all the words. All right. Row 5, the right side reads, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together again, yarn over, knit 1. Okay, there's your knit 1 in the center like, then yarn over again, slip, slip, knit, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and end the row with knit 1, 2. So let's do row 5. Whew, all right. I'm so glad I remembered that. I thought, oh, Jay, you were supposed to say that. I don't know when. All right, I've knit my 3-stitch border. Row 5 again says knit 2. So I'm going to knit 1, 2, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over. Now knit 1, and watch where that 1 falls. As you'll start seeing stitches falling in a nice column or a sequence. All right, now you have a yarn over after you do the knit 1. Now yarn over again. Now this time, this is a decrease. Slip, slip, knit that I'm using instead of what she used. Slip, slip, oops. Wait a minute, let me put it back in there. Slip, slip, knit. Now do it again. Yarn over, slip, slip, knit. And I end with knit 2. 1, 2. Now I bring my eyes back up to the highlighted area, and this is where I start. Not here, but this is where I start for the repeat. So now I only have to knit 1, then knit 2 stitches together, yarn over. Did I say knit 1? Yeah, okay. Knit 2 stitches. All right. Now knit 2 stitches together again. I'm all off on this. Should I do it again? knit 2 stitches together, yarn over. Now here's the one in the center, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and for my 2 repeats I end with knit 2. If you had 3 repeats, you got to keep going to the end. Slide the marker and knit my 3 border stitches. No matter what's going on, you watching what's on the chart. Does that make sense? Or if you're reading the word. Alright, I'm going to turn the work. I will purl row 6 and I will see you at row 7. We're working right along. Alright, it's going to get interesting soon. Alright, see you back at row 7. We are up to row 7 of our chart. Alright, row 7 reads knit 1. Then you knit 2 stitches together, yarn over. Knit 2 together, yarn over. Right in the middle, knit 1, 2, 3. Then yarn over, slip, slip, knit, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and then knit 1 for 1 repeat. So let's just do that together. Alright, I knit my 3 little stitch borders, or you could do a 4. I put on the sheet, if you want it 4. I slide the marker. Let's go. Knit 1, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. Again, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and knit 1. And then, of course, when you bring your eye back up to the repeat, only to where you have the highlight, now you simply just knit 2 together, okay, yarn over, knit 2 stitches together, yarn over. Now knit 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then yarn over, slip, slip, knit, just like that. Again, yarn over and slip, slip, knit. And for me, I end with a knit 1, slide my marker, and I have my 3 stitch border. 1, 2, and 3. And look at the progress I'm making. Can you see it? Can you see yours? Alright, of course, row 8 you will purl, and I will see you back at row 9. Alright, start watching your yarn overs. Back in just a minute. Alright, we're ready to work row 9. So before we work row 9, because this was a row that kept, whenever I had a problem, it was on this row. So, count your stitches before you start. However many stitches according to your formula. I had 2 repeats, so my formula would have been, my stitch count should be 25 stitches. I'm just talking about between the markers. The lace, I'm going to count mine. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There's 2 right there. 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and 1 is 25. So I know I have the right stitch count. Now let's see, can I get through this row without any problems? If you get, this was a row, for some reason, it would just always throw me off a little bit, but I believe we can do it. Alright, row 9 reads, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over again. Now knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then yarn over, slip, slip, knit, yarn over. All right, then we're going to knit one, slip one, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over. So now let's just do this first repeat to get it right. We're going to take our time. We've counted our stitches. It starts out with knit 2 together. Now yarn over. Now knit 2 stitches together again. Wait, I got a split there. All right, now yarn over. Now knit 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3. That's 4 and 5. Sometimes your yarn overs will get twisted. So if you have a twisted yarn over like I have right here, you just have to untwist it and get it back in the right order. All right. Now I need to, after the 5, I need to yarn over, okay? And then I'm going to, well, I got a twisted stitch here, so I need to turn it around. It's just because sometimes they just get twisted, no problem. I have to slip, slip, and then knit. Okay, after the 5 stitches, I had a yarn over and then slip, slip, knit right here. 5 stitches, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. Now I need to yarn over again. Yarn over. Now this is where you do the slip one, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass that slip stitch over. Now let me show you where that stitch is going to line up. Right there in the center of this. See, right there. That's where that stitch will line up. Now, for my repeat, I have to come back to the front, but only to the highlight section. I yarn over, knit 2 stitches together. Okay, yarn over. Now I'm going to knit 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I need to yarn over. Now watch. Slip, slip, knit. And right after this, I need to yarn over. And there should be 2 stitches left unless you did a 3rd repeat. All right, then I'm going to slip, slip, knit. Just like that. Slide the marker and knit 3. And for my border, 2 and 3. Now, just to make sure, so that I won't have any problem with the next row, I'm going to count my stitches again. I'm going to count them before row 9 and after row 9. I should have 25. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and 1 is 25. If you didn't have 25, then you might have to just knit back and check and see if you put that yarn over in. I believe that was my problem a couple of times. All right, so now row 10 is the wrong side. I will see you back at row 11. We are making great progress on this new chart. Oh my word. Take care now. Back in just a minute. Okay, so we are up to row 11. Row 11 reads, knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over. Knit 1, yarn over. Now this is leaning to the left, so I'm doing slip, slip, knit. Then I knit 1. Then this is leaning to the right, so I'm back to knit 2 together right here. Yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and then back to the left again, slip, slip, knit, knit 1 to end the first repeat. So, I think this one will work out just fine. Alright, we know we have the right stitch count. We finished row 9. So row 11, we work it together. The first thing is knit 1. Then knit 2 together. Yarn over. Knit 1. Yarn over. Okay, now it's leaning to the left, so we're going to slip, slip, knit. Just like that. Then I have a knit 1. Have a knit 1. All right, now the next one is leaning back to the right, so I knit 2 together. Yarn over. Then there's a knit 1. Yarn over. Leaning to the left again, so I'm going to slip, slip, knit. And in the first repeat, I knit 1. Now that last knit 1 will wind up in the center. Let me just do it first. Knit 1. Remember that little center section, right? I don't want to lose my stitches. All right. See, that knit 1 is going to line up right there. It's right here. Okay, so at least we have something like, okay, gee, I made it to that. All right, now we have to come back up to the front, but only to the repeat, to the highlight area. Let's go again. For every repeat, you have to come back. For me, it is knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over. All right, it's leaning to the left, so I want to slip, slip, knit, then knit 1. Now the next one is leaning to the right, so I knit 2 together. Sometimes you have to talk out loud to yourself. Yarn over, now knit 1, yarn over again, leaning to the left, so slip, slip, reach back and knit those 2. And I have 1 stitch left, so I knit that 1 stitch for my 2 repeats. If you have 3 repeats, you knit 1 and then go back up and do the repeat again. So slide the marker and do 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there we go. Look at that. See, when you turn it the way you're going to be wearing it, look, you can see your heart. Oh, what a sweetheart scarf this is going to be. Alright, so now when I turn the work, of course, that will be row 12. I will see you back at row 13, the last pattern row. Take your time. We're almost to the end. Back in just a minute. Alright, so we've made it to row 13. And I have counted my stitches. So, you know, you might just count your stitches since we're at the last row. I have my number of stitches. For me, I'm just doing 2 repeats. 25 is my number in between the markers. Alright, row 13 reads, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, 2, 3, yarn over, then slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over, yarn over, knit 1, 2, 3, yarn over, and since this is the first repeat, you'd have to slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over right there. Alright, let's do the first repeat and then we'll come back up. So, I've knit my first 3 stitches. I slide the marker. Now let's go. Knit 2 stitches together, yarn over. Now knit 1, 2, and 3, yarn over. Right here, slip 1, knit 2 stitches together. Oops, I got a little split. Knit 2 stitches together. Now reach back and pass the slip stitch over, just like that. Now you have to do a yarn over after that. Now knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're over here. After you knit those 3, now look, there's a yarn over. Then right in the middle, right in the center, I have a slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over. Okay, now I need to come up to where the repeat starts in the highlight area, and you have to start with a yarn over on this side. Now watch, knit 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now we're up to the center sequence. Yarn over, slip 1, knit 2 stitches together, reach back and pass the slip stitch over, yarn over. Do them like in a little sequence. Then you knit 1, 2, 3. I knit 1, 2, and 3. Then there is a yarn over, and then there's 2 stitches left right here to end my repeat. 2 stitches. So all I'm going to do is do just a slip, slip, knit, decrease to take care of those 2 stitches. I had dropped my marker. So right there, and then of course I slide my marker and knit 3. If you learn to just do them in little sequence instead of trying, I read the whole row, but when I'm knitting, I try to knit in a little sequence. Okay, here's a sequence there, and then I have to come here. It just gives you a nice flow, and it gives you a rhythm, and you'll know instantly. All right, of course, well, let's see what we have. Well, we can count too. Let's just make sure. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and 1 is 25 because I did it sequence by sequence and not try to run through the whole row. All right, now that's the last pattern row. And now you, of course, I have to purl back. Just move my little thing up here. Row 14 at the very top, I'll have to purl back. And that will be 1 heart. That will be 1 whole heart. If I turn it this way, you see my beautiful heart pattern. Now, let me get the real scarf right here and see, can I walk you through how to end. I did 3 hearts, so that means I did 1 through 14, rows 1 through 14. I did it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And that's as many as I want to do or I could take. Before I pull my hair out. So to end this scarf, after doing 3 repeats, once again I did row 1 and then purl back, and then I did row 3 and purl back. That's after I had done the three repeats of the pattern. I did row 1, row 2, row 3, and then purl back. And once I purl back, now I'm on the right side of this scarf. This is when you want, and now I just simply want to knit across to clean up all those stitches. Once I finish that last purl row, then I want to knit across, and this is when you add back 1 stitch. When I start knitting, I knit the 3 border stitches, 1, 2, 3, slide the marker, then I knit into the front and the back of a stitch. Just, it can be the first stitch or the second stitch, it doesn't matter. That adds that 1 stitch back because we have to do the 2x2 ribbing and we need an even number. So once I add that stitch back, then I just I knit across that row. Just knit on across, okay? Turn the work just to make it clean on the edge. I simply purl back. I went ahead and purl back. I didn't want to have to start on the wrong side again. I just purl back. Now I'm on the right side and I can just see everything nice and clear and everything is neat. So now I have my 3 border stitches, knit 2, then purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2 all the way across. I will end with a knit 2, slide the marker, and knit my 3 border stitches. And I did it about, 5 or 6 rows. just whatever. But when you end, you want to end on the wrong side. You know, I have that little thing. You end on the wrong side. Now I've done, 5 or 6 rows of the ribbing. I'm on the wrong side, and you think, okay, Jay, I've had enough. You're just going to bind off with the knit stitch on the wrong side so that this little ugly line is on the back side. So you'll knit 2 and then bind off 1 stitch. Knit the next stitch, bind off, knit the next. We're knitting, using the knit stitch on this wrong side row to end the scarf. Therefore, that little line, let me bring it up close, is on the wrong side. And then you get just a little pearl beads on the right side to just end your scarf. Does that make sense? We've done it before, so you should be kind of used to it by now, unless you're new. So now that's the scarf. We have worked the whole scarf. I have the pattern written up row by row for those that don't feel like you can work the chart. The chart is fine. You just need to take your time, work things in a little sequence, and not, even though I read it across, but you try to work in small sequence to get across so that you don't forget any of the yarn overs or get ahead of yourself, because some people like to knit fast. So that's my Sweetheart Valentine scarf. It's really pretty. It's a fun way to do, this is a stitch tutorial, but it's a fun way since a lot of people saying, Jay, if you are a knitter like me, a seasoned knitter, you just get tired of knitting swatches or dishcloths. So this is one thing that I used to knit, as you saw from the pictures. I used to do, and I called it a little sweetheart scarf. And I told you where the idea, it's a throwback from an old vintage scarf they used to do way back in the day, I guess in the 40s, when you used to watch the old black and white movies. The Greta Garbos and all Lauren Bacall and all the old black and white movies. That's all we had back in the day to watch. Oh, so I hope you have enjoyed this. I have enjoyed sharing it with you. I hope you give it a try. Don't be afraid. It's just yarn, people. You can always, like I said, I don't try to use expensive yarn because we're practicing. We're practicing how to increase our knowledge of charts, how to take it row by row. We're learning how to just increase our knitting, and that's what it takes. Practice, practice, practice. So if you get done, please send me some pictures. Don't be afraid. Don't worry about mistakes. Just try to keep your mind on just step by step or row by row, and you can do it. Well, this is Jay. I'm trying to think, have I missed anything? Did I not tell you anything? How to finish? I think that's it. So, from me and Bird, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam, I want you to be safe and be careful and take care, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.